Hey, my art heathens, how's it going? J4D3 here. And I know it's been some time since I've done a speed painting, but there's a good reason for that, and I'm going to get to it. So, for the last 2 weeks, maybe a little bit longer, I've had kind of like a pain in my kidney. And it wasn't that bad until 5 days ago when it got really bad. And I was thinking, oh my god, I got kidney stones. So I went to the emergency room because it was that bad. And they shot me up full of painkillers and did a CAT scan and then an ultrasound. And it turns out I had pancreatitis. So I have been laying around my house on painkillers or in the hospital for the last 5-6 days now. Yeah, about 6 days. And unable to function. I did do some drawings and they're horrible, and I'll put them up here on YouTube so you can see what drawing while stoned on painkillers suffering from pancreatitis looks like. Today I got a doctor's appointment at like 3, and then hopefully they'll clear me to go back to work, but this still hurts. So it's just going to be one of those, deal with it until you get home and you can have a nice Percocet or two. So, anyways, that's what's been going on with me. If you ever had the chance to get pancreatitis, don't do it. It's not as cool as all the kids say it is. In fact, it pretty much is one of the worst pains I've ever had. It sucks horribly. When I left the hospital, I was there for the first time in the emergency room. When I left the emergency room, part of the hospital, they shot me up with 4 doses of Dilaudid, which, let me tell you, is a ton. And it makes you sick as a dog because you get so dizzy. So, no fun at all. Alright. So this is the last thing I drew before my illness. And it's a soon to be a red dragon fighting a dwarfy Viking guy. And this is such a nostalgic thing for me to do. For me, it goes back to my love for Dungeons and Dragons and all the great art of D&D. Jeff Esley, Larry Elmore, Keith Parkinson, who I believe is not with us anymore. I think he died of cancer. I could be wrong. I could be thinking about one of the other guys. Clyde Caldwell, Fred Fields. Fred Fields doesn't do this kind of work anymore. He does Native American paintings, and they're amazing. Anyways, these are all the guys back in the 80s. 90s. So, and they really got me excited about everything fantasy. I loved dragons. I wanted to be a dragon. And not like some kind of like weird otherkin dragon. You know, I'm a dragon trapped in a man's body. Or a little boy's body. No, I want to have the wings, the tail. I want to burn villages, eat virgins, kill knights. I loved dragons. But that doesn't mean I didn't love the knights too. I loved all the stories. My mom read me The Hobbit when I was a little kid, and Lord of the Rings, and It was just everything going on in the world of fantasy and science fiction at that time. I was just overwhelmed. I drew dragons all day long. Me and this little German kid would sing the Goblin song from the Hobbit cartoon in grade school. that's how into it I was. So that's what I was kind of trying to trying to do here when I drew this red dragon, was kind of get back to that, I don't know, that feeling I had when, I guess when I first started playing D&D was in 8th grade with my friend Doug, and it wasn't that much fun because he was a fucking idiot. But later on, my freshman year of high school, I hooked up with I still am friends with them today, and these guys, and we would game. Todd, Pike, Rick, even Selena, Kim, Jill, Kent. And then it transitioned. That was my first gaming group. It was a lot of fun, but then it transitioned into my core, hardcore gaming buddies. We'd game all the time and play these games. Steve, Dennis, Joe, Pike. Pike was the carryover to that one. And that's when I got to like my second wind of fantasy, which was the Dragonlance stuff with Tracy Hickman. And I can't believe I can't remember the other author's name. Oh, it's gonna kill me. It's Tracy Hickman and well, anyways, someone's probably screaming into the mic if they know who the other. Margaret Weiss. Oh, there we go. Tracy Hickman, Margaret Weiss in the Dragonlance stuff, and then also R.L. Salvador with his Dark Elf series. Good stuff. At the same time as I got involved in D&D, I started going to science fiction conventions. My first one was Viking Con, and I was blown away with that. Also gave me an interest for the SCA, Society for Creative Anachronisms, but not as much because they were all like, historical recreation, and I was into sword and sorcery. So many eye-opening experiences going to my first sci-fi con, drinking with my friends, getting to touch strange girls' boobs that I didn't know because she was hammered and all corned up. And I got my first butterfly knife there. I met artist Damien Willick, who became, in a strange way, a big inspiration to me, because I met him in real life and he was off the chain. Just an amazingly creative, asshole, wonderful person. Met the love of my life at that science fiction convention. So, I knew her before that, but I went to it with her. But she had a boyfriend at the time. Yeah, it was great. Sorry, I'm getting all kind of funny and nostalgic thinking about this, but that's what these kind of images bring back to me. It's like, oh, look at that. On the right side, that's my picture of April O'Neil I was working on that sucked, so I decided to use it as a piece of masking. Anyways, yeah, images like this just remind me of staying up for days in a row playing stupid role-playing games with my friends and loving it. In fact, it was like, I don't know, probably the best part of my week for years. This is before Magic the Gathering was a thing. In fact, we met a bunch of Magic the Gathering guys playing D&D and then doing live action role playing. So that was kind of cool. I also met Mike Grell, the comic book artist, doing that, which was kind of neat. He's kind of a dick, kind of a nice guy at the same time. I don't know. Anyways, my heathens, I'm out of here. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I hope I get better soon. Peace.